Hey, what's going on, people, man? It's your man JB with you once again. Mind Your Business podcast. Listen, man, we just jumped on. We doing something special. Every now and again, I break the rules. I know we normally do Mind Your Business Mondays, but today it's not Monday. But I said, hey, let's hop on. For those that are subscribed, you're going to get notifications, hey, that we're going live. For those that aren't subscribed, then you're going to have to catch the replay because you're not a subscriber. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and set it up so that you can get the notifications so that when we go live, so you don't miss nothing. Because at the end of the day, we're giving away free game. We're having these conversations with these business owners, entrepreneurs, influencers, and creatives to empower you guys. I know that you're out there and you want to start your own business, or you may have your own business. But we're having these conversations for you guys, so we can get you on the right path if you're not on the right path, and just trying to help you keep you from losing your house, man, losing money, losing your relationships. And we having these conversations with people that are doing it, have done it, or in the process of doing it, and just trying to get you guys straight. So right now, um, like I said, it's a special. We did a special. I know some of y'all are probably looking like, oh, what's going on? Well, we got my man Fish on from the Juicing Life Bar. So we're gonna sit down. I'm gonna have a conversation with him, just about you know everything and anything. Brother, what's going on, man? How you doing?
How's it going? How's it going, guys?
Things as well, man. RN, how about yours?
I'm pretty good.
Okay, all right, well, cool. Well, look, man. Once you get you on the show, we had an opportunity to meet over at the Miller's house. Shout out to the Millers. I had a chance to meet there, and I said, you know what? We need to get this brother on the show. Uh, you've got your own business. Just kind of talk about what it is that you do and your business.
All right, this is, of course, like you said, I'm Fish, guys. I own a juice bar, Juicing Life Bar. We're located in Newport News. We're working on the second one. Actually, not working on the second one, but the second one is being built. Is in Williamsburg, Virginia. Of course, just like what it is the juice bar. We sell organic cold pressed juice. We also do smoothies. We also have a cafe that sells salads, flatbreads, and wraps. Just just your whole combination of healthy and also taste and any other package that you want to put it into. We try to accommodate the people. So that's it. That is what we do. Yeah.
And how long have you been in, I guess, business?
This November coming up will be 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I've
Uh,
been in three business 3 years, and in that time frame, I started out as one suite, which was a juice bar, and then the suite next door to me, maybe about a year and a half, 2 year time frame, I bought out and made it a cafe. So now I have two suites, combined,
okay.
and then I'm going to take that same uh, recipe and I'm going to bring it into Williamsburg, which will be one suite with that whole ideal theme of the bar, juice bar, and the cafe will carry on to the many locations that I'm trying to open.
Well, I will say this first and foremost. I appreciate the fact that you are bringing the juice bar up to Williamsburg because
Yes,
that's where I am. It's like in my neighborhood, so I appreciate that.
yes,
Um,
sir.
and so, what exactly, with all of the businesses that are out and all of the franchises that you could be a part of, why did you choose a juice bar?
Well, there's a few combinations. I know people. Yeah, I get it a lot, but here's the probably the three reasons why. The first reason, I lost my dad 2018. He was passed away from cancer, so it turned me into a hypochondriac nut from health. So I always been in that that lane of health. And then as I went to school and college, I got my degree in network security. And I just like, well, I like it because it was a good pay, but I know it wasn't for me or wasn't for long term. And I just fell in love with business. I took a little intermediate business 101 class. I was like, man, I love business. So I took, asked myself, what business can I get into? And I couldn't think of nothing for about maybe like a month. And then it just dawned on me that I love tropical smoothies so much, not to give them the free marketing, but um, I just knew I could do better. Like I knew that what they had wasn't really real, but I like the fact that at the time it was the only place that it was like what was healthy.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, I just ran across the juice bar. I was like, "Oh snap! This is what I like. This is what This is what I think would be good business." So I took my love for health and um, my business, and I just created a juice bar. I seen how it was done. I watched it. I researched it. I said, "Wow, I know. If they can do it, I can do it. And I can do it better." And I took that same competitive edge, and I created a business that I have now.
And so, do you think? I'm just gonna throw this out here. Do you think that you're doing it better?
I am doing it tremendously better. The only thing that I'm not doing better than most corporations is the marketing aspect, and that's what makes Tropical Smoothie what they is. If you go to any big town, especially in Virginia, and you name where can you get a smoothie, 90% of people are going to say
Right.
Tropical Smoothie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that number is decreasing because juice bars like myself, there's many others, are starting to get more headline because we're real food.
Mhm.
We taste better, we better for you, and people are flocking to a better product. And juice bar is declining. I mean, I'm sorry, tropical smoothie is declining.
Mhm.
So my goal is to be, the household name and franchises of juice bars. There's competition out there. There's many others that's growing, but I do know in Hampton Roads, and not to discredit anybody else, but we're definitely making headlines as one of the best juice bars, Hampton Roads. So
So when you got into, or when you started the business, um, did you start it? Did you look at the? So did you kind of sit back and look at the numbers and the financials and say, "Hey, blah blah blah," or was it a thing to where because of kind of what happened with your dad, it was a thing to where, look, let me just go ahead and start this because I know ultimately, was it more so were you looking at the health aspect or the financial aspect?
both. That's why I said that was the main thing. It's as business, you got to be smart. I wasn't trying to open up a hobby.
Hmm.
And that's what most people kind of feel at business too. They have a passion for things and they think just because they love it so much that they can just open it up and then they just succeed. But this world is what it is. Stuff takes money. It takes capital. And so I didn't really want a just something that I like. I also wanted a growing business for making money. But I also, to really answer your question, I did have the opportunity to look at other juice bars, and they was, see their numbers and say, okay, this is a pretty profitable business. So I know, if I open up, if I start out of nowhere and it's a good thing, I can make it.
Hmm.
And that's what like to take a pause and from the viewers is listening, that's it is a scary thing when you open a business like, man, okay, I'm gonna make it because we all hear that statistic or that stat that a lot of businesses fail within the first
Right.
year or 5 years. But I don't want nobody to discourage it because if you really think you do your homework, of course, for your finances is in a great location, you have a good shot.
Hmm.
You know, and then my thing is too. I always live by no fear. I can live with trying something and not working versus not trying. You know,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know.
And
So
yeah, because I think for a lot of people, it's the fear of failure.
yeah,
But ultimately, you fail if you never try.
correct. But the fear is good. If you're not really scared of what you're doing, you're really not doing it big enough. You know, I just read this book, from Grant Cardone, which is 10X, which is one of my things that I live by. Is he had a quote in there that I like. What was it? It's on the tip of my tongue, man. I don't want to get tongue tied, but it was definitely a message that he had about fear. I know he definitely said, if it's not big enough and you're not scared, then try it.
Yeah,
You're not trying hard enough. So and I live by that. You
And
know.
so with you, are you the primary owner? Do you have a partner or partnership, or is it
No,
just
I'm the sole owner. There's no other partnerships. I never even listened to too many other business ideas. Like I'm learning everything that's about this business is me.
Mhm.
Not the simple fact that I didn't take advice from other business owners down the line, and of
Right,
course
right.
reading books and stuff like that. But it's really answer your question. Nope, it's just me.
So prior to you starting the business, what all did it take? Because I run into people all the time that have ideas, want to start a business, yada yada, do this, and the third. But for whatever reason it is, either whether it's fear or but it never gets off the ground. What was it that you did to make sure that your business one not only got off the ground, but like you said, you would started I guess about 3 years ago. Now you guys are looking at actually branching out into a whole nother city.
Yes, sir. Um, I don't know, man. I'm just different, man. I went on a lot of guts. I can definitely say that. And I can't. I mean, even with my planning, it took me 6, 7 months. I didn't even write anything down. I'm not trying to discourage people, but
Understand? Right.
to answer your question, I mean, I literally, I don't know, like I just really went off of. I wanted it so bad, like I literally would think about it every single day for hours. Like I would
Mm,
literally take a walk and plan in my head over and over the name, the steps to get it, the equipment, where can I put it, what can I sell. You literally got to be obsessed, and addicted to your dream.
mm,
And I mean literally like assess. A lot of the word assess get thrown in a negative connotation, but assess is not a good, not a bad thing, especially if you look at it in the definition of it. You need to be assessed at all times with your thing. But I to really do the planning. Even I did do a business plan, and I didn't even really look at it. I only did that because I thought I needed to for a loan, and I didn't even never really
mm.
use my business plan. Like I said, I'm really not trying to. I know my way is unorthodox, but it's a really the honest truth. I just literally planned everything in my head, didn't write anything down, and I saw this location, which is the location that I'm at now, which is in Newport News, and then the light bulbs went off. I'm like, oh, bingo, this is it. And it's so crazy. I signed the lease with no money. Like it sounds
Right.
crazy. Like I literally had no money. My credit was probably in the low 600s to mid 600s at the time. And I was trying everything. I know people always ask me like, where do you get the funds? I
Right.
probably maybe another next question, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like, where do you get the funds? And the funds really was, I honestly use. I know it goes against business laws, but I use everything. I use from savings to credit cards to personal loans. It didn't really care to me. All I cared was the number that I got to get where I was going. Whether it was 60, 80,000, 100,000, I just needed a number. And I also went on the guts like where I can even maybe finance stuff and pay with my own job paychecks. I was willing to live on one paycheck and use the other paycheck as capital. I was
Mm,
I
mhm.
was willing to take that risk, and I did too. I did. It was a lot that I put into my own paycheck money. I would just calculate into like, all right, what can I put off? What can I pay now? And I don't know. I just know I needed it, so I just put the pieces together until I had it.
Well,
You know?
and I think too, like you said, something that was key was sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like you were willing to sacrifice to make sure that one, you were going to open the business,
Yeah.
and you did all the research that you needed to do. Definitely unorthodox, but I'm sure that your story and the way that you did it is not uncommon. It may be unorthodox,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's uncommon.
No. Well,
Uh,
what is common, not to cut you over, what is common, and it should be common in a lot of new businesses owners, and as well as the form, the current big ones, is the hustle.
mhm,
That's what's usually the same. If you're willing to hustle, you're willing to grind, you know, you can do it. I just bet it on myself. I knew that what I had and the idea that I had was sell.
mhm,
Being in a great location helped too.
right.
Shout out to Newport News City Center. Those guys definitely in the first few months to a year, them walk the foot traffic definitely kept me afloat.
Mhm,
Even my first year, I mean the first month, literally, was enough to pay the bills. And I never went down. Like literally from that December in 2018 all the way to now, I literally had every month was higher in grossing than the previous. So that's amazing too. Like I mean, that's like unheard of as well. Like I literally, started out in the few thousands to the upper hundreds. It was just a great thing. It just all I can say is my faith and all that just definitely carried on because
right.
I don't even know at this point it was me. The way that you guys people to see how I did and how really what I had to really open it. It was like I don't know how you did it, but I did it.
And
Yeah.
to, and yeah, and that's the big thing is the fact that you were able to do it and still doing it.
Yeah. Still doing it.
And now, did you do it prior to the pandemic, during the pandemic, or
Oh yeah, I started in 2018, so it was definitely prior.
so now? How did it impact your business once the pandemic hit?
What like I said, the pandemic was a blessing and a curse. And the curse was because we lost a lot of family members and
Hmm.
friends, and people did get sick, and people lost jobs. So that was the curse part. And I definitely my condolences to those people. But the blessing was definitely the business was skyrocketed. I guess it scared people into getting really checking on their health
Hmm.
or whatnot. Or you can put in the category I like to put it, which is the faith. I nothing. If you in that faith bubble, nothing should rattle you, and it didn't. I was at the time in City Center for sure. I was the only one open. I was the only one floating business, especially during the peak of the pandemic, like
Hmm.
from that 2020, that spring or that early winter is when I think when they started doing the shutdown,
Right. Yeah.
and I was still open. I consider myself as an essential worker. But also too, the reason why I done it, to be honest with you, I couldn't afford to close down. I really couldn't.
Right. Right. Right.
And I'll be honest with people there, I really couldn't afford to close down. Um, I had some amazing employees, so if they watching this, definitely shout out to them. Give all the honor to those guys because they stuck with me.
Hmm.
They wore their ass, and we grinded it out. And the city still came in. They grab and go. They try to do as easy as possible, but they still came in and floated the business. And we did alter the hours a little bit
Hmm.
so people more of a shorter window, but it was still a success. It was still a success. Yeah. So
Now, with so what you said your background was in IT.
yes, sir.
So you didn't have any background when it comes to running I guess I don't know, restaurant or
Not at all. Not a liquor business. I didn't know about taxes. I didn't know about no LLCs. I didn't know about business accounts. I didn't know about you name it. I didn't know about employees. I didn't know about any of that stuff. And it to me, I really didn't care. I just knew that I really wanted to do sport that bad that I knew that I could figure it out. I know I'm smart enough to know like okay, I can at least fake it till I make it. You know what I mean? What they'll say. So I did figure it out. I figured out the taxes, employees, and how to build my system. But
Mhm.
really to answer your question, I had literally zero to no knowledge. The only knowledge that I had, and honestly, was I was able to work at go to a juice bar, and they would allow me to see how I operate. You know, but I mean, I sacrificed that too because when I was in IT, I was working from 11:45 p.m. to 11:45 a.m.
Oh wow.
And I would get off of work and literally go to somebody else's location for free. And I did it for like 6 months. Working under a juice bar and just trying to just gain every knowledge. I would travel. I did like I said. I wanted to bad. I risked everything. I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care about going out. No nothing.
So the juice bar that allowed you to kind of come and work there,
Yeah.
did they was it did they know that hey, I'm going to open up my own and I just want to see how it works.
Yes, I did. I was very upfront. The way it was no sneaky business. I was like, hey, I want to open one up. And, if you mind if I come in and check it out and run it, like help, just knowing it was like, yeah, I guess the trade off was free labor
I'm about to
because
say yes.
I definitely worked like 6 months for like 30, 40 hours a week, plus my real job for free. I didn't want a
Mm.
dime. All I wanted was knowledge.
Was the knowledge and
Yeah.
and and it says a lot about you, man. Just as a, not a lot of people are willing to do. A lot of people ain't willing to work for free for knowledge now.
Yeah.
I get internships,
Yes.
but most people think after a certain age, they're too old to be an intern.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
see, in those, and I'm not putting anybody down, but those are a lot of the people that really don't make it and be successful. Successful is a one in a many. It's not a lot. We're a very small group of people,
mhm.
but yet we run the world. So that says a lot. Well, small business and the big corporations do, but meaning and even the big corporations, a lot of them started out small.
Mhm.
Even from Apple, he started. Steve Jobs started off in his garage. And he had so many obstacles and he failed. But he kept on and he kept on and he kept on and now his company is one of the biggest to ever do it. You know. So
Yeah, to me, man, it says it says a lot. I mean, the sacrifices that you were willing to make, and this is even prior. This was just you're making the sacrifice to learn a business that eventually that you wanted to start.
yes, sir.
To the point to where you got off your overnight job and then worked another job to where you didn't get paid, but you were getting the knowledge and the wisdom in order to open up your own space.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And I did it for about like 6 or 7 months too. So it wasn't like a month or two. It was for like a half of a year plus.
So
You know.
and and so when you build the foundation like that,
Mhm.
like that's building a solid foundation. That's a foundation that you can build on top of and build on top of.
Mhm.
Because at that point you went in, you had the work ethic, you're going in to gain knowledge, willing to learn, and yeah, man. For those of you that may just be tuning in, we are it's Mind Your Business podcast. We snuck one in on you this week. We've got my man Fish on, who's the owner of Juicing Life Bar. He is in the process. He's got one space in City Center
Yeah, should have sent a Newport
in
News.
Newport News, and he's in the process of opening up his second space, which is going to be at Williamsburg, which is yeah, I appreciate
Midtown
that.
Road.
Yeah. What is the date of opening your Williamsburg location?
I don't have a really date, but I believe the contractors and the planners and designers there were shooting from around 2022 spring.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So right
Um,
now we're still in the designing phase. We haven't really broken any ground just yet. But the designer phase is almost done. I mean, those guys will work fast.
mhm.
I mean, they just delivered a whole blueprint to me actually just 2 days ago. So we're just gonna work out some of the kinks on that. As soon as we finalize that and get the proper permit in there, start building. Um, and it's a definitely good crew. So those guys, it don't take them no time to build a space, especially in my kind of space is not that large, so they'll be done. And it could be even sooner than that, but I think they're shooting for 2022 spring.
And so now, what is that process like? The process of design and picking someone to do it, and what is that process like?
So basically, depending on the business, um, you first you got to find a location, right? You find a location that you want to work in. Either you're going to do it juice truck or brick and mortar, but most likely it'll be a brick and mortar. And then, of course, you find a brick and mortar that you like, and hopefully it fits into your scheme because you might have a perfect location, but that brick and mortar location might be too small or it might be too big. So, of course, then you got to find the right one. And then once you find the right one, you got to go to the leasing office of that location, and then they'll give you, hey, this is the X amount of dollar for the square footage. This is our plan and proposal. Because once both parties reach an agreement, um, and then it's up for you to grab, a design team, or you do it yourself.
Mhm.
Now, I am in a space now that I'm more fortunate to. I can hire a design team, and I will let people know they're trying to do it. They're not cheap.
Mhm.
I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars to do that because they put in a lot of. I mean, they're putting in a lot of man hours
Right, right.
from from interviewing you to seeing what you like, what's in
Mhm.
the space, and then they're using some high qualified people to design your space.
Got it. Got it.
I mean, to do blueprinting and to do 3D graphing, to do all the way from MEP, which is MEP, which is your electrical, your plumbing, you name it.
Mhm.
They also keep the contractors on track for you. So that's where I'm at now. So basically, backing up, after I did the leasing and figuring out what that's signed and ready to go, then the clock starts. The
Mhm.
clock usually they offer you a few months of free rent so you can build,
Got it.
and then sometimes they also offer you money to build, depending on if they believe that it's a good thing. They offer you some kind of tenants allowance where to help build it. But that's just really just a little bit of money just to help you get some of that groundwork off. And then once you get, like I said, all that situated, and then you get your design team, if you choose to do a design team, I think a juice bar like the one that I have now, I did myself. Well, I didn't do it myself. I still had a contractor, but it was no design, and I was just like, I need this there, I need that there, and it was like, okay. But this particular one in Williamsburg, I just, I'm able to get a whole design team because I'm trying to change my juice bar now to a franchising prototype. Like everything flows into a system. Everything is, like nice. Like you look at Chick-fil-A franchises, like how did they design it? Well,
Right.
they hired a team to do it.
Yeah.
So some of the same guys that would do some of those franchises, that's what I hired. So, then they go from all the way from planning to equipment to design and into it being finished. And then once you go to finish, you got to do marketing for the new space. You got to do hiring.
Right.
You got to do training. You got to do a soft opening. Just to let people fill it out, test it
Right.
out, see
Right. Yeah.
what you can do. You can do, of course, the grand opening.
Mhm.
And then, of course, doors is open for business.
What would you say, um, out of the whole process of your entrepreneurship journey,
Yes.
what would you say is probably one of the hardest things that you had to do?
Oh boy, man, I ain't gonna lie, it's been fun. I don't want people to skip it. Like business has been fun, but the hardest thing, and I believe a lot of the small business owners can definitely contest to that, is how do you really manage people as your employees. Employees is by far the most headache that's going to give you.
Right.
You can have the best product, the best location, but if you don't have people to help you or the right people, that's going to make or break your business. So I would definitely say the hardest thing by far was not say me and that's managing people, but it's just you know yeah,
Everybody's everybody's different.
yeah,
Everybody's different. Everybody, the things that make them tick. You've got to deal with different personalities, different
yeah. I mean,
attitudes. You got people
call
come.
it,
Yeah, you got people coming to work that may not want to come to work that day. Then you got to deal with that, and you got to. So that's a lot, man.
yeah. That right there, that'll make you grow a little gray hairs. Yeah, that for sure. I would say by far, but like I said, I've been very, very fortunate. So I mean, I haven't had too much of a struggle. I really
Okay.
haven't.
Okay.
Meaning because I didn't see people literally lose their mind and just quit business because they just can't take it no more.
Hmm.
But the good thing is you just got to be yourself and be a nice leader, and hopefully the people that grasp under you will like to follow under your leadership and then follow under your business, goals and vision, which I have now. So like right now, I'm starting to really get some employees that I think I have with me for the long run. And the thing is with them is you have to make sure they're happy too.
Right.
You got to keep them. You
Yeah.
got to make sure
Yeah.
you always are showing your appreciation
Hmm.
because I do. I really do appreciate those guys, and they grew to love me as well as not only a boss, but as a friend and as a mentor, and any other thing that they see me as. So, and then I just the next hard thing I'm always thinking about. I'm not even thinking about business and aspect of selling the new spot. It's the people. All right, now I got to do it again from filling in the people, and of course I would bring some people over to the next one to help train and all that. But it's still a whole business, a whole brick and mortar that I have to staff up.
And and
So
but I guess the good thing is, since you were able to do it before, that may make it at least a little easier in comparison to when you had to do it the first time.
yes, so now I know how. I mean, I know how to train. I know how to even train better. So and also I got multiple people that's under me that can do it too.
Mm.
I have managers now. So really, how you really do it is you just keep building up that hierarchy system where you have somebody around under you, and then somebody under them, and then somebody under them, and then you just pay them. It really just that simple. You just make sure these people are well taken care of, so you're able to keep building on your system and team,
Hmm.
and to a point where you get it so big that you have some big dogs that run it. You don't even have to run it.
Right.
CEO board, and that's my really my honest goal and dream, which I hopefully one day meet, is to have like a board, like a
Mm.
CEO board. I ain't even looking, and even me hiring crew members is not even a thought no more.
Mm.
My thought it would be visions and how to expand even farther.
Right.
But how and process and all that will be a blink in the past, you know, maybe one day in the future. That's the goal.
Now you said something about you being a mentor.
Yes.
How important do you feel mentorship is when it comes to business?
It's everything because those guys, the people that come under me, most likely if it's a juice bar, they're young, right? Some of them are young because it is what it is. It's a business. You know, they're not working for. It's not a shipyard or some big brand. That these are. It's a juice bar. So juice bars is not paying a salary of 60, 80,000, $100,000 yet. So you're going to get a lot of young people, and a lot of those my employees that's their first jobs. So whether I like it or not, them being under me is going to steer them off. I'm going to put them in some kind of direction. Whether it's good or whether it's bad. So it's extremely important to me that I take it upon myself to give those guys vital information and how to go about jobs in the future, and to grow as a person, school, and all that. I try to be all that for those guys, and they really appreciate it. And in return, they work harder for me, until their time is up from working for me or they keep working for me. Because that is one thing that everybody's not going to stay, and I know that you are going to have a turnover rate, especially if it's in the younger staff. So, but my goal is if they're with me to always put my mark with them, so that way they can carry on. They can say, "Hey, I work for Fish, and he taught me this and taught me that." Because even with my business now, a lot of stuff that I learned from the previous jobs that I had, I applied to this one. You know, you always take your experience is the key. That's why we read books because we're able to get somebody else's experience in a short amount of time. You know,
Now, how about you talked about mentors as far as you being a mentor? Now, what about
yeah.
your mentors? Like, who has
Oh yeah, yes. I had some good ones.
yeah.
One of my favorite mentors is actually the one that got me to thinking business. And I remember I said in the beginning, like I went to college and I had a business 101. I think you just one of the guys you actually have to take, whether you want to do business or not. I believe so. It's been a while now. And I had a teacher named Mr. Frank Klusnet. And he was a business teacher. Man, he was successful himself. Not only was he an instructor, but he was a research scientist. He was a business guru. So he came in. I think immediately his first day of class, he was like, "If you guys want to sign up for a book, I will buy you a book." He literally bought hundreds of a brand new book,
Mm.
and I read his book, and it's one of the books that changed my life, which is called The Happiness Advantage. So shout out to those guys. And then I don't know, it was just, and then I just kept being in so love with business that I would ask him, "Hey, can you, help me out more?" And he had no problem meeting up at Starbucks and, you know, put me under his wing and said, this, that, and the third. But he didn't sugarcoat anything. It was like if you want to have a business, you got to have goals, smart goals. I believe I said it at the mixer too. He was one of
Hmm.
the ones that introduced to me smart goals, which is some people don't know. That's an acronym: Pacific, measurable, attainable, um, uh, retainable, time, and timely. No, I'm sorry, measurable and timely. Yeah. But of course, if you do not get it, you can always Google it. You can just Google SMART acronym, and then it'll easily come up for what that is. And basically, he was the one that put me on a path of having goals, and that right there changed my life for the good. Every day, in my phone, I write my notes down, my goals, and then I wake up and I shoot for the goals. I got daily goals, weekly goals, midterm goals, and long-term goals. So that keeps me going up to the next level, the
Hmm.
next step.
Hmm.
And I keep one foot in front of the other.
So, what about and you hear this a lot.
Hmm.
So, when you set goals, and if you don't meet them, then what? I mean, how does that impact you, or what do you do next time around?
Oh man, trying to see me because, like I said, I'm different too. I had a lot of goals that I set. I really did accomplish. But some that I did, that I didn't really accomplished, but I didn't accomplish in the time frame that I was supposed to accomplish it. And I remember I said, one of the acronyms was timeable. You have to time your goals too. You can't just say, "I want to open up a juice bar," and then it's taking you 5 or 10 years. It has to be in a timely matter. But the goals that I completed, sometimes they weren't in the timely matter. So I know, I looked at myself and said, why didn't I complete these goals? Or if I didn't complete these goals, what was the area why didn't I do it? And a lot of time it was me. It was either procrastination, or I put something off, or I didn't have the discipline to get up, or, focus. So then I just look at the areas that, didn't cause me, like I said, to reach that goal, and I try to, fix that. And a lot for me was, that it's that discipline, man. That gridiron military style discipline to get up and grind out. Sometimes human nature, we just want to get up and like, man, I don't feel like doing this.
Oh, for sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, I find myself in a lot of it too. I also felt myself being comfortable in a lot of positions where, like I said, my business was able to run itself with my employees. I'm like, oh, I'm good now. I can sit back. And no, it's too young. It's way too young. You got to grind out until it's time. You got to be wise enough to know it's time, when it's time to sit back and you to work on other areas. I know I went off on a tangent, but yeah.
Oh, you good, man. So you are more of a niche type business.
Yes.
It's more so people dealing, it's health and wellness, and for those people that like to, eat a certain way.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to check out your menu.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to the creation of your menu and the items that you have, even some of your juices and things, what's the test kitchen like? How do you come up with your items? How do you come up with some? How do you come up with some of those items that you have on your menu?
So basically, literally, my whole menu, people laugh, man, because a lot of your businesses, and I went back in the beginning and I answered the question in full, is I just went with what I like. And I'm starting, and I'm just serious. Like I literally, like, I'm very, very good at marketing,
Mm,
and I kind of gas, well, like, okay, I think people like this too,
mm,
right? I think this would be a good thing. So I would just Google stuff like, there ain't that many fruits out there. So I would look at other menus of juice bars and tropical smoothies, see what their best stuff, see, how can I compete in that area, and then I turned it and see, oh, how can I have a better tasting? So that's why I say I'm better than tropical smoothie, because they got so good at with their franchise that they're cutting too many. They cut at corners to get it down.
right, right. Yeah.
How can it taste good, but also to be the cheapest?
Hmm.
My thing is how can I get the best quality and get the most people in? Meaning, because if I sell volume, if I have the best quality, I'm gonna get volume regardless.
Hmm.
That's my thing. Like if I give out the best quality for the best price, I'm gonna get a lot of people to come
Right.
get it. And that's what been successful. But even with answer your question back to the menu, it's really just basically what I like, and basic researching to the similar business. It's almost like real estate. You look at, how do you know how to build your house up? You look at other comps.
Mm.
You know, so it's pretty much the same thing.
So
So
you so you mean to tell me you like wheatgrass?
I love wheatgrass. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Wait.
I'll
Oh,
be honest. No.
you
Wheatgrass is nasty. Wheatgrass is nasty. I say that to the people. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Wheatgrass is very, very, very nasty. Uh, but the reason why I love wheatgrass is because of the health benefit of
got it.
it. It's wheatgrass is chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is a super, super food when it comes to antioxidant.
Mm.
So that's why I like it. But I gotta hold my nose sometimes when I gotta take it, man. It's very nasty, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I tell people all the time, because people ask me my honest opinion about my stuff, and I don't sugarcoat anything. I was like, yeah, it's nasty, but you already knew that because it's in a wellness shot. You knew that when you
Right. Yeah.
started, to eat wheatgrass, that it wasn't gonna be sweet and nice and good.
Mm,
But you
mm.
did it because it's a shot that you can take for your health. And
Got
another thing too, I wanted to you had said earlier that it was, for people health. That's too what I want to,
it. Hmm.
is special about my business. It is, I don't even promote health really too much about my business. And where I'm going with that is I deliver a smoothie, for example, with banana and strawberry, and you take that upon yourself to put that in the category of whatever you want to put it. If you want to put it in health, sure. If you want to put it in with your fitness, sure. But if you just want something that tastes good, then
Hmm.
sure. I don't put the juice bar in a particular area or just health, because to me that's not fair, because I don't think eating banana. You ain't got to be healthy to try to eat banana and strawberries. Banana and strawberries just taste good, but at the same time, it is healthy.
It
You know
is
what I mean?
right. Yeah.
So that's why people also, a lot of people they look at juice bars too. They was like, well, it's just healthy. Oh, well, yeah, it is, but we let you decide that. We just selling
Right.
a high
Right.
quality product.
Yeah.
Whether you want to put in that category, you can do that on your own.
So when you come up with, say, some of your smoothies or your some of the different blends you may have, the wheatgrass and things of that nature,
Yes, sir.
how do you come up with? So how do you know that? We'll just say, how do you know that blueberries and bananas and strawberries go together and it tastes good?
Oh, I personally taste it. So like literally when I first started, I went through the whole recipe and I tasted it all. I had family friends. That's also important. Like I said, with soft opening.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, of course, we're past that point because we already got one location up. But let's say if I did have one, this is the first one. Then you go to a test bit. Yeah, people taste it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta let the people figure it out too. Meaning, like we have created some smoothies that wasn't on me. It was some of my employees came up with it. Some of the customers came up with it. But if it tastes good and it sells, then I'm gonna sell it. If it makes, if it sells, if it makes sense and that's good.
Right. Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like I said, and I'll be honest, I haven't been personally.
Yeah,
I haven't been to it. I've got a couple of people that have.
yeah,
Got a chance to check out your menu, and I looked at it and I was like, okay, all right, smoothies look good. And so for me, I was never really a big fan of tropical smoothie.
yeah.
I used to go to a place called Smoothie King.
They're not to cut you off. They're just a step up.
Yeah.
They did the same thing.
Hmm.
They took their smoothies and they started to see how can we maximize our profit margin with the taste and with the stuff.
Right.
And I was thinking the same thing. I think I went to my first Smoothie King in
Hmm.
Atlanta, Georgia, and I was like, okay, they're good. They're better than tropical smoothie from back
Right.
home. They're
Right.
good. They got a good size. They got price. Then I learned that they really wasn't until I started getting real smoothies.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's the difference is, and I guess you're probably the ingredients that you're using in comparison to maybe I don't know. I'm just guessing what they may be using, may be different. Uh,
it's and I can explain it. It's completely different. So, like, I said, I'm not trying to bash people, in all tropical smoothie, but they big enough. So hey, I don't care. Um, they use a lot of processed stuff. They use canned stuff.
got it.
They use fake. They don't even use sugar anymore. They use fake sugar. I don't even know. It's a chemical sweetener,
Wow.
and they use ice. My smoothies, I use 90% filler of fruit, and then we use maybe a little bit of ice just to give it that nice coldness. But we use my smoothies by margin cost way more than tropical smoothie, and I'm talking about a few dollars. Like
Mm-hmm.
smoothie versus them, their margin profit is way higher than mine.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though: my quality is better,
Mm-hmm.
and it's better for you. And then one day, I'm gonna get them a volume two because people are just not gonna mess with them anymore.
Got it. Yeah.
Because why would you go to them when we bought the same, either the same price of mine is cheaper, and you're getting a way better bang for your buck?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, we're not even talking. It's not even close at this point. It's not even close.
What do you think moving forward? I know you said the Williamsburg location. You kind of want to put it together to where it's if you wanted to start franchising them out,
Yes.
you could do that. But like, what is your 5 year goals? What do they look like?
Well, I'm actually at that step now, so no, I like to do a pre-question answer to all my
Hmm.
answers here, but I always walk and I meditate about goals. I'm very, 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 very goal oriented, and I think that's the only way I work. I know most people are goal oriented, so that is my next goal to answer myself. What is the 5 year plan? Um, but to answer that I think I came up right now is I think I would like to have at least a third juice bar. I don't know the Pacific location as of yet. I do would love to be in Miami one year in the next 5. I think in 5 years I would love to be in Miami, so I can say that. That's just a city that I like, and I believe that's a good area to put a juice bars. And I travel there frequently, and they don't really have that many, especially in South Beach. But really, to answer it is just, especially for Juice Bar. And I'm not even getting like a financial goal, but for Juice on Life Bar, it's at least to have another one, a third one in 5 years, maybe even two more. But like I said, we right now it is a step by step kind of thing, because of course the second one is not even open yet. So all my focus and energy onto that one. And of course, once the doors open and employees is running, then I can sit back and say, hey, what's the next one?
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, my lack of patience is what drives me to keep going
Mm-hmm.
for another. I don't like being stagnant. Sometimes they can burn you. I can't tell business owners that's watching it, they definitely can burn you when you don't have enough patience, to at least sit and let things develop.
Right.
But I have no patience. Like, for me to open up a cafe and another juice bars in 2.5 years, especially when you're deemed to fail in 5 years, is pretty remarkable, I would say. Um, and crazy, even in this one, I know it's good because I didn't even find the spot for Williamsburg. They actually found me. So they reached out to me around in 2020 of November, so a year ago actually. And I was like, I thought it was a scam. Like, yeah, whatever. I kept blowing it off, and then I finally heard their pitch, and I was like, oh, this is a good area. So I went there.
And they
You know,
reached out to you.
yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, look, man, you must be doing something right.
yeah. And this is a huge location. This is an internet. This is uh Broad Street. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's called Broad Street. Those guys, Broad Street Realty, yeah, those guys are huge. This Midtown Road was cost a few $1 billion. So it's huge. They had, when you get to that big of an area, there's no such thing as you picking that location. You must fit their criteria
Right. Right.
because they're building an economy so everybody can feed each other. So they're getting that guaranteed rent, and then they're making their money back from all the money that they spent, um, put into the location,
Mm-hmm.
because they put a lot of money into the Midtown Road is huge. They put a lot of money, a lot of money.
Well, and
Yeah.
like I said, man, you outside of me saying it or uh, you thinking it, when you get a call from somebody like that, that means you're doing something right.
Yes, sir.
You're doing something right, man, and I definitely commend you. What would it be so for a someone who's thinking about starting a business? What would you tell them would be one of the first steps to
The first, the,
starting a business?
the first step, which we all know, and the reason why we all do not proceed into a lot of the things that we want to do, is the fear factor.
Mm,
You must take on fear head on. And I mean that with everything I got. I mean, you must, just keep going.
mm,
Like, if you're scared, long as, now, I ain't saying like be naive and don't do your research and don't do
mm.
your business plan and don't try to have your money in order if you can possibly have it, which most times don't be like me in the start or something, not having no money. But you know, you got to have that non-fear. Obviously, if I was a millionaire and I wanted to start a juice bar, yeah, it'd be less fearful because I'm
Right,
already a millionaire.
right.
But the people that most start these small businesses, a lot of times they don't have that kind of money.
Mm,
So I mean, maybe they get a loan, but even then, even if you do get a loan, you still got to pay that back.
right.
If we ain't got no business to pay it back, then you're in trouble too. So, like I said, the number one thing I would say is definitely no fear, by far. And here's also how you minimize your fear: is you try to gain all the experience you
About
can
to say,
get.
yeah.
Yeah, what I mean. You try to, if you're trying to do any business, I don't care whether it's trucking or podcast, you look at other people that's doing the same thing
Hmm.
that's successful. You take from them. You see what you can do better,
Right.
or the same. Sometimes, a lot of times people think they can reinvent the wheel. You know, like McDonald's. McDonald's started off, he didn't reinvent the wheel. He just duplicated it. He
Hmm.
started the franchise. So you need to look at areas of the area that you're trying to build up and grasp off of that. Read books. Books is one of the things that I thought I would never come to like doing. If you don't like reading books, I would suggest, like I do myself, is the audiobooks. Audiobooks, it's the same thing. And here's the thing with audiobooks. Audiobooks don't keep talking no matter if you're paying attention. So it would be key to you if to pay attention. If you don't get it, don't be scared or lazy to rewind it and to re-listen. Because books is key. Matter of fact, books is what got me started on the business. Matter of
Right.
fact, and I don't even mind sharing it. It's the E Myth. The E Myth was actually one of the books that actually helped me be fearful of actually opening that spot without a doubt. That it helped me, look at it as a standpoint to scale a business. So it's those again, like I said, I'll say it again. It's almost free marketing for Michael Gerber, the one that wrote the book, is E Myth, and that is E/Myth. It's a lot of books. Profit First that helped me out to even my finances. So books is very important because it helps you with your experience and knowledge, to minimize the fear. So you can move on and tackle whatever you're trying to open up, the best way you can.
Man.
You know.
Well, what you're doing, man, is it's amazing. You're it's nothing like being successful, and outside of being successful, willing to share the information with others.
Yes.
I think what happens a lot of times is we gain information, and then we want to hoard it for ourselves, and then ultimately, either we hoard it for ourselves or we want to sell it to someone else.
Yeah.
And now I'm not tripping off of people that do consultations, and no, but I understand how that works. But at the same time, man, I really appreciate those that are willing to sit down, have the conversation, and want to see other people become successful as well, man. And I commend you for that.
Yeah, so the reason why I do it, like I said, I'm not, this is a podcast and this is open, so I don't go into what people believe, but I will say this, and what I believe is all about energy. I started off the juice bar with free knowledge. And we're not necessarily free. I put in some time and effort, so that wasn't free. And time is the most, expensive resource there is. But in a nutshell, is if you help somebody else, you're gonna be helped back. That's just my whole thing. And I live by this, and it helped me. Like for me to get where I'm at, I know it wasn't on me. Well, it was on me, meaning the energy was there, to help me out. Whether I had customers that would literally come every day just because they wanted to sow into the business. So why would I wouldn't help nobody else? I help people as much as I can because I know for a fact I'm going to get help. The more people that you help, the better chance that you have because that energy just come back on you tenfold. So I don't mind answering all the questions. Now mind you, would I have people come in and look at the juice bar scout to scout? Probably not as much, no. But I'm willing to give them, all the knowledge that I can if it's for the right reasons. Because you got to realize too, a lot of people do not come for you just because they want to know the business. They come because they just want to be nosy. So you got to be mindful of that too, so they won't waste your time.
Right. Yeah, because time is that thing you can't get. That's the most expensive commodity, man, because you can't get it back.
Can't get it back, and it's like now the older and it's crazy. The older you get, the more you know how much time you really.
Yeah.
I say don't have, but it's limited. You don't get it back.
Right.
Yeah. You get anything else back besides like course your life and anything biological that passes, but time
is gone.
Well, that don't stop, man. That just keep going.
Yeah, man.
Until it don't.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you, man, for coming on, having this conversation. We normally close out the show like this. We ask our guests to give us their highest high and their lowest low on this journey of entrepreneurship. And it can be whether it's a business high and a business low, whether it was a life high or life low. But what is that high and that low that you've experienced on this journey that you want people to know about?
Well, I'm a guy to do dessert first, so I guess I start with the high. My biggest high was literally just seeing it grow. To see that it's really cerebral, man. Like you like, dang it, I did it. Like or I'm doing it because I haven't done it yet to me. But some people say, yeah, you did it. But to really like, wow, man, I have a brick and mortar. I got customers. I'm helping people get over certain diseases. So yeah, that was definitely the high. This is to see a thing that I created in my mind come true, right? The low, man, I don't want to have too many lows. I know it sounds crazy, but the low is really just, man, it's just the constant scratch too. It is some stress that come with business. Anybody that's trying to do business, anybody that work under somebody else business know that, life is stressful. So the daily struggles of maybe somebody calling out and not having enough employees, or something is broke, your freezer, the AC go out, something that is a low. Maybe the struggles of the daily stress, that's really the low. I don't have a really event that's the lowest, but I would trade in one event low for the many stress events that come on a daily and a weekly basis by every day of the week. So yes, I would definitely say that's my low of just the normal stress of being a business owner.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, man, I appreciate you again, man. For those of you that are just catching it, catching the end, we've been having a conversation with Fish. He is the owner of the Juicing Life Bar, which is located in the city center and soon to be another location in Williamsburg. And appreciate your time, man, your energy, your transparency, your honesty. And you guys get by there and see him. If you haven't been, go check him out. Go get over there and get you got smoothies. You got a cafe as well, correct?
Yeah, this if they want to check it out, just check out either website or the social media. And every platform we are at Juicing Life Bar.
Okay.
That is JUICING Life Bar, as well as the website is do.com.
Okay.
You can see the menu, you can see what we do, you can see the locations, or you can just Google us. Google us and take you to all that as well.
Got it. Yeah, man. Yeah, get by there and check him out. Support him. Support what he's doing over there, man, because they making moves. Making moves, man. And so once again, man, I truly appreciate you for hanging out with us today.
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on for me just a minute. Let me see. Well, once again, you guys, that's Fish from Juicing Life Bar. Make sure you guys get over there. Check them out, man. See what they got going on. Go over there and support the business. Support him in what he's doing over there. Making strides, man. They're doing it. About to open up another location. And it's really, really interesting to see and have conversations like this with business owners and are just making it happen, man. So appreciate all you guys that have tuned in. Check it out. Don't forget to subscribe so that when things like this happen, you get the notification and you don't miss it. So once again, appreciate you guys. It's Mind Your Business. It's your man JB with you once again. And we'll do this again real soon, man. So y'all don't forget to get them notifications on. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Talk to you guys real soon.